Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday. Excuse me while I still adjust my crazy. There we go. It is a chilly Saturday morning. Um, it feels like 4 outside, and this is the Midwest, and this is a time of year where the weather is a little wacky. It doesn't know if it wants to be cold. It doesn't know if it wants to be warm. Today's high is supposed to be around 30, 31. Um, I was foolish and closed my vent in here because it usually gets too warm when I'm doing this. Well, this morning it's not too warm. It's a little chilly in here for even me, and I don't mind cold. But this is getting a little too cold for me. I mean, 4 degrees. Wow. I don't even know what the temperature is in this room. I know in the hallway when I woke up it was thermostat's right there outside of my room. 64. Turn it up to 66 because that's what we usually put it on during the daytime. But yeah, today it might go up a little bit depending on how warm it gets in that bedroom. Because that's where Jerry is, even though I'm going to try. Excuse me, my back's still a little tight. Even though I'm going to try to get Jerry out into the living room so we can do what she wanted to do, which was take down the tree. But I leave that kind of up to Jerry and how she feels because I can do the tree. She can do the organizing and putting away the decorations. So that's one of the things that we have to do this weekend. The other things is I have to check my uniforms to see if I have enough clean ones. If not, I have to do though at least those. Um, Maybe a load of her nightgowns and whatnot because well, she's having issues. She's no longer having pain issues, even though every so often she bends her knee or presses on her knee the wrong way. It hurts a little bit. But we had X-rays done Thursday, and according to the technician who reads them and then gives the information to the doctor, that everything seems to be in the right place and normal. So maybe she did too much one day on her own while I was at work. I know yesterday when I came home, she had folded all the clean clothes that were ready to be folded. Um, I know I just said I was going to do laundry today, but that was my uniforms because I go through the uniforms pretty quickly due to the factor, it's inevitable when you're working with food that you're going to want to clean your clothes because of stains or just the factor that some of the foods that I work with, um, you don't want to be wearing those clothes for too many days. I try to change out my uniforms every day, if not every other day, depending on how quickly I can get them cleaned. Because one of the things I work with is raw chicken. You know, I gotta take the raw chicken and defrost it, and then coat it, and then cook it, and then cut it. So, you know, that's not exactly raw chicken is not exactly something I like to work with because of the infinite possibility of various different things that could cause me to get sick. I mean, I'm not allergic to chicken, but who wants to be wearing clothes that have gotten chicken juices splattered on them? I sure don't. That and a factor of just the different salads and sauces and whatnot that I work with can be a little juicy. Tzatziki, hummus, the different salads that I make that have oil and vinegar or just oil. And because it's Greek food, it's got to be it's got not vegetable oil. It's got to be olive oil, which sometimes we're in short supply of. So certain items that I make, like the sorry, my brain is waking up. The chicken calls for a certain amount of oil with spices and honey, and gotta mix it up and whatnot. So I use canola oil for that. But when it comes to like artichoke salad or the tomato cucumber salad or um, various salads basically. I use olive oil because olive oil in Greek food is part of the flavor, and you got to have that flavor, otherwise people aren't going to know the difference between Greek and American unless they know the different flavors between olive oil and canola oil. So, but things around here have gotten better. I slept. I didn't. I set an alarm for 8. Normally on a Saturday, I will set an alarm for 7, which is 2 hours. A 2 hour difference between the weekdays and the weekends. But I was just so tired last night that I was like, I'm gonna set it for 8. I don't want to sleep past 8. And tomorrow I'll sleep until 6 or 7. Depending on how I feel tonight. But I got a pretty good amount of sleep. I mean, I did not calm down from the day's events, which I'm going to talk to you about in a second, until almost midnight. So that 8 hours, or well, 8.5. No, not 8.5. 7.5 to 7 hours, because hey, you get broken sleep. You wake up because of nature, or you wake up because your partner next to you is stirring. I found out this morning that Jerry slept from maybe about 11:30 to 1. And I was like, oh man, well, try to take a little bit of a nap while I'm doing my thing. But yesterday was a little hard, mostly on me than anybody else, because I was having, how do I put it? I was having a combination of a stress attack and anxiety because of just different things going on. I was like, I have too much on my plate. Things are happening in ways that I sometimes just freak out, don't know how to handle. So I had like a bit of a like just overwhelmed, so to speak. And I ended up, I didn't want anybody around me at the time, so I had to get up. I was going to sleep out in the living room because it's just the way I felt. And I just, I couldn't explain what was going on to Jerry at the beginning of it. So I ended up coming in here to de-stress. I'm not embarrassed to say that I had a little bit of a cry, so to speak, because just I'm worried about Jerry. I'm worried about Mom and her cyst on her back that's causing her some mobility or some issues, not just mobility issues, but numbness and lack of hand strength, like, and just not being stable sometimes. So I'm like, if this is the situation, I'm going to take it upon myself. And I know it sounds like, why are you taking on more responsibilities if you're being stressed out? But I told Mom, because she was talking about coming out and emptying the dishwasher and doing the dishes last night. I said, Mom, don't worry about the dishwasher or the dishes. If you can't get to it before I do, don't worry about it. But it's just all these different things between the two of them, and their temporary issues. And I know they're temporary because Jerry's has already gone away or faded from extreme pain to just don't aggravate the issue because pressure on that knee or stuff like that. And Mom, because of her, because of who she, her age and all the things that she's gone throughout her life, I'm like, what my problems are compared to their problems are minuscule. Mine is mostly stress and some minor physical pain because of my lower lumbar sciatic type problem. So I'm like, I was just kind of, at the time, I was just like, I can't compartmentalize. I can't I feel like I couldn't de-stress. Um, so I broke down. I just, I didn't want to be bothered by anybody. I wanted to be left alone. And problem with that in the situation we have here is mom will leave me alone. When I tell mom I just want to be left alone, she'll leave me alone. And Jerry, on the other hand, has to have, you know, what's the problem? What's wrong? Can you please explain the situation to me? And I'm like, just leave me alone. Jerry doesn't know how to leave well enough alone. I wish Pam, well, I understand why Pam decided to stop watching YouTube and Facebook. But if Pam was still around, she would explain that when Henson gets to the point where he says leave him alone, she, whoever says leave him alone, that's time to just shut up, let them go through their process mentally, let them do whatever they need to do to decompress. So that's basically what happened between me and Jerry last night. Now, when I got done decompressing in here, I went in there and I explained to her, I've got all this stuff on my shoulders. My back's been giving me problems. I've been having issues that worry me. And she was like, well, what are these issues? And I'm like, well, when I get stressed out, whether it's walking across the street to get to my job, it's a busy street that I have to cross, or just things going on here, my shoulder, my arm starts to get either numb or pain, like squeezing pain. And yesterday it was I literally felt like I was going to have a full-blown episode with Bell's palsy, which I've only had once, where my left side of my face went droopy, just literally like no muscle control, no sensations, nothing. It just, but I felt like my whole left side was doing that. And the thing is pulse was a little fast, but blood pressure and whatnot was within the high norm. And I know I need to go talk to the doctor about that when I see her. When do I see her next? I forgot. It's on my calendar on my phone. I just don't have my iPad to even look at that. So I'm trying to deal with that without going into panic mode, because oh God, am I having a heart attack? Am I having a stroke? What's going on? And granted, some of my symptoms, according to WebMD, yes, I looked it up, and I'm not trying to self-diagnose. I just looked up signs of a heart attack, and signs of a heart attack is also stress related. My stress can seem like I'm having a heart attack, but I'm not having a heart attack. It's just stress, and part of my body is physically showing the signs of it. What I should have done last night, I could have done last night, but I totally forgot about it until just now, is I could have gone to there's I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's part of my medical package where I can go and do a one-on-one FaceTime discussion with a doctor. And I think the only reason why I've never done that is because, in fact, I'd rather be in the room with the doctor so the doctor can do a full exam instead of just going by what I tell them. The old telephone game. But I know that if I start to stress, I know I know I need to separate myself from the situation, which is not always easy, because it's trying to explain to Jerry, hey, look, you're stressing me out. I need to go, be alone for a little while to adjust. But my biggest concern isn't the factor of my health issues. My biggest concern is it's going to sound like I am concerned about my health issues, but my biggest concern is if my health fails and I end up bedridden for who knows how long because of, God forbid, a stroke or a heart attack or anything like that, that I can't take care of my family. That's my biggest concern is if I'm laid up for any given time because of a health issue, that who's going to take care of my family? I know mom can take care of me for you know, certain things. Get me a drink, get me a snack, which I will never. I'm so pig-headed. I won't ask people for help. I will literally get up and try to do it myself, no matter what. That's just me. That's not just me. That's most of my. That was my father. That was probably his family. You know, most of his family. We're do-it-ourselfers. We don't rely on somebody else to do something for us. If we can get up and do it ourselves, we're going to get up and do it ourselves. That's why when I was in my in my 20s and I had a spaghetti hernia and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have to be laid up for 3 days," and I went, "You want to tie me to the bed? Because if I have to go to the bathroom, I'm getting up to go to the bathroom. I don't care. If I'm hungry and there's nobody in the house, I'm getting up and going down the stairs to go to the kitchen to eat. I don't care." But mom was like, "No, I'll be home. You know, I'm not gonna be that far." I'm like, "Okay." I don't know what it is. I have a hard time listening to doctors, but I'll listen to my mom. I will listen to. Sometimes I'll listen to Jerry. um, but it's just who I am. Very stubborn. But I mean, other than those issues, things around here have been fairly normal, or the new norm, as I call it, because nothing's really normal around here anymore, except for the dishwasher and the the dishwasher and the washing machine. I This morning I woke up and I was feeling good and whatnot, and I asked her if she wanted anything first thing in the morning. She goes, "No." And she told me that she didn't sleep. She didn't get that much sleep last night. Maybe about 2.5 hours or 1.5 hours or whatever it was. But she said she's okay, and I said, "No, no, no. You need more sleep than that." Um, I needed more sleep than that, and that's why I slept so long. Because I mean, 7.5, 7 hours. That's good for me. Anything less than that, that's when we get a little grumpy and irritable. But I'm looking at the weekend and going, okay, we got this task that we need to do. Well, the only things that we really need to do or really set up to do for today was the Christmas tree, because we don't know how long it's going to take between me needing rest periods and Jerry needing time to catch up to where I am. Because when I start a project, I want to get it done as quickly as possible, just so I can go on to the next project or take the rest of the day off. Does it sound lazy? Maybe, but that's who I am. It's like, okay, I know what projects I need to do. I want to do them so I can get it done and be done with them. It's not so I can take the rest of the day off. It's just so I can be done with them. For various reasons, whether it's procrastination or just I lose steam, or I come in here thinking I gotta do this, I gotta clean up in here and straighten it up and start making it look like what I want it to be, and I get overwhelmed where I start my project and get pulled away from it because Jerry wants her project done. She can't do her own project, so I gotta oh, okay. Another day that I'm putting off what I want to do because Jerry needs me, you know. And yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna come up with comments with, well, you should have a home health aide so you can do your thing. Well, why do I need a home health aide in my home when I'm home? I need a home health aide in here from 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you know. Because usually Jerry's good from the time I leave work to about 9, 10 o'clock in the afternoon, or morning, however you want to put it, because that's when she will eat her breakfast. or want mom to get the protein shake out of the refrigerator, and one thing or another like that. So it's kind of like one of those, we don't really need somebody in here for long periods of time, but due to insurance and just, it's mostly on Jerry's side, because I'm like, hey, yeah, if I can get somebody to come in here and watch over you and maybe do some minor cleaning in the kitchen or whatnot, that would be great. I don't want anybody in here for undue necessities. You know, of course, if there was somebody in here, they would probably make sure she did her PT, because I don't know if she does it on a regular basis. I can't tell. Just minor things here and there. But if anybody's going to get a home health aide person in here, first and foremost would be mom, because after her back surgery, she's got to be off her feet, on her belly, basically, the rest of the day. Which I can guarantee you she's not going to be happy about, because that means no smoking, no cigarettes, no playing her solitary games on her computer, no doing her painting. It's going to be basically a day worth of rest. And I think mom's going to have her friend Carla here, because I don't know if I can take the day off. I've already got 4 days in the upcoming months. Well, 2 of them in this month, 1 in March and 1 in April, that I know about, that I have to take off for Jerry. The thing is, 2 of them are literally like 22nd and the 24th. Actually, both those days, I don't have to take off, but I have to leave work by about 12. But the way things have been is every day I've asked off after a certain time, they've just given me a whole day off. Like, I'm not even on the schedule. And I'm like, I need somebody to punch me in, because I did put on that request off form to be off by 12 and not be off the whole day. And it's not like hurting me to take those days off, because, well, let's just say our bills are the only thing we have to worry about is our regular bills. And as long as we make somewhere in between $1,200 and $1,600 plus our YouTube monies, well, actually that's included the YouTube monies, we'll be pretty well off. I mean, we'll be like, don't have to struggle, don't have to worry about anything. We are about 90 to 95% debt free. So that's like, yay, no more struggle bus. And then, and I'm not blaming Jerry, because we didn't really discuss it. Actually, we did discuss it, and she has kept to the agreement. Anything we order from Amazon, Costco, any other places we've been ordering stuff through, Walmart, anything we order basically online is either agreed upon or a necessity. We're not just willy-nilly buying stuff just for the sake of buying stuff. It's like, do you need it? Do you have to have it? Okay, let's see what we can do. Like I got myself a pair of new winter gloves, because my old ones were shot. Literally, the thumb was poking through the fabric. So, and then it wasn't really a need, but I wanted it. And since we did have the credit, and we can afford it, because we didn't use Amazon, or we didn't use our Amazon cards, we used our bank. I got myself a new winter hat, because the one I had disappeared. And the other two that I got, well, they're good if you're not wearing a hat. So it's like you can't put them over a hat. You can put them on your head, then the hat on the hat. And it felt uncomfortable. That infector, if the wind blew just right, the hat could get lost and I wouldn't even feel it. So, I got myself something a little bit larger that would fit over my hat and my ears. But everything we've gotten has been, well, everything we've gotten since we've cleared the bulk of our debt has been necessities. We both agreed to talk to each other about it before we did any expenditures, and so far, the one thing that was a surprise to me was something Jerry got me as a surprise, a thank you gift, so to speak. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, all right. Then in fact, she knew I liked playing the game on the old game system and figured she'd get me one for the new game system, which was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You know, it's one of the violent games, I guess you'd say. It's a game that has a storyline and a lot of adventures and whatnot, and you're not constantly shooting or killing things like Call of Duty. Um, or God of War. So, you know, she got that for me, which was like, that's nice. That's nice. It's a nice surprise. Um, so that's about the only thing that we spent or she spent money on that was not a necessity. She has gotten herself new nightgowns because some of her old nightgowns are either shrinking or just becoming like tattered and torn. Like she's had them for years, and that in fact I had to get new socks because I've got a nail that sticks up in our doorway into the bedroom that I have to either remove or hammer down. That's ripped a hole in a number of socks, including a pair of thick, heavy-duty woolly socks for wearing around the house during cold days because my feet get cold if they're not properly wrapped in warmth. I don't know how else to put it. But other than that, see, Mom has an appointment on Monday. I can't take Monday off because it was too soon. Her friend Carla is going to hopefully be able to take her to the doctor's office or the hospital or wherever she needs to go on Monday. Mom said if she wasn't thinking she can make it on her own to pick up Carla to go to the doctor's office, that we will figure out a way to get our vehicle to Carla because Carla doesn't have her own vehicle. Which in a small town like Rolla, when you live right around the corner from a grocery store, unless you don't want to walk across town, which I don't blame anybody, it's convenient to have a friend or a ride of some sort. Rolla does have a taxi company. Most of the taxi drivers are basically they own their vehicle privately, but they go through like a AAA company or some localized company. There is one transport service that basically picks up people and take them to their medical appointments. But we found out that one, it costs more money than that cabs, and two, you have to give that. I think there's only one vehicle, but you have to give that person like 24-hour advance notice to see if you can get a spot to be picked up on, which sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It really depends on availability. And the other one, which is basically primarily for the hospital, does not take our insurance, which is kind of like, it's a state insurance. Why don't you take it? Yes, it's one of the government insurances and whatnot, but it's through Missouri State Health Plan or whatever it's called. I don't remember what it was called. And they don't take the insurance. And I'm like, it's state funded. How do you not take a state funded insurance, a government funded through the state of Missouri. You know, but I don't know. I just go, these things don't make sense to me anymore. I mean, it's like, okay. But that's just the way things are here in this crazy state of ours. But um sorry, my nose itched. Oh, yes. Um I had a video that I did Thursday evening, I think it was. And well, let's just put it this way. Or was it? Yeah, it was Wednesday evening. Supposed to be for Thursday, but I didn't post it because one, it was an hour and a half long video of me just being very unhappy and very downright rude. Because on that day, I had the unfortunate happenings of me trying to defuse a issue or situation between one of my family members, yes, Pam, and one of her family members, Julie. Now, I understand that everybody has their own opinions, and this was over Facebook because I asked a simple question. And I guess the way I worded the question kind of got an argument started between families. And the simple question was, should I take up a part-time job to spend more time with Jerry, or should I just continue the way things are? In other words, I was asking what was more important, Jerry or a job, because of the situation happening here. And Jerry wants me to be able to spend more time with her because she doesn't know. She was basically down in the dumps, and she was questioning her lifespan, basically how much longer she has before cancer takes her. And I didn't want to hear it, but I was like, I understand her point. I really did. But it was one of those things where it's just like, I didn't want to tell her I'm having enough issues with work and whatnot. And she knows I'm not happy anymore because it's like too much for me. It's, I'm basically by myself doing my venue and getting it prepped and all that, and dealing with 50 plus people a day almost. Well, let's just put it this way: this week alone, 3 days were 45 to 55 people. Um, that was 3 days. There was Wednesday that was 47. So basically, every day I worked this week was above 45 people, which if they were spread out, I wouldn't mind. But when they all come together at one time, literally, it's like, ding! It's 11:45. Where? Why aren't you guys spread out no more? Usually, I'd get a small group about 10:45, another small group at 11, another small group at 11:30, another small group. Well, a bigger group at 11:45, another big group about 12:15. I'd have 5 to 10 minute gaps in between groups of people to replenish my supplies. Nope. Last couple times it's been like, hold on a second, I gotta refill the rice, refill the chicken, refill lettuce, refill tomatoes, refill that. So it's kind of like, oh my God, where are you people coming from? So I was like, I need somebody out here to help me because I'm getting worn out and stressed and coming home and just feeling like passing out. But a lot of the fast food services that are happening in town have been like, we're hiring, we're hiring, we're hiring, we're hiring, and they're all hiring for like $1 more than I'm currently making, if not $3 more than I'm currently making. And I'm like, I need the money, but I need less time at work because I want to spend more time at home helping Jerry out, doing projects, things that need me. And well, I'm not going to name names in exact wording, but let's just put it this way. I put that comment on Facebook and then regretted it because by the end of that day I had to take it off because it was just causing too many problems. And well, let's just put it this way. My family member got irritated by Jerry's family member in in the comments. And let's just say my family member decided to remove all her comments and block Jerry's family member. And Jerry's family member made a comment about that, and it set me off. Because at first I was just kind of like, okay, they're just trying to get their points back and forth. But the thing is, since I could not read my family member's comments, I don't exactly know all that was said. And well, because of Jerry's family member making her last comment, set me off. I do not try to pit anybody against each other. I know the expression blood is thicker than water, and what it really means is not exactly what we use it for nowadays. But Jerry actually looked it up and told me about it. I went, oh, I did not know that. But and it has to do with birthing, not being family. I ended up blowing up and making the comment that I next day basically apologized for because I made the comment in a fit of rage. And I know, I forget it all the time, but I know that I should never make comments or say anything or do anything while I'm in a fit of rage because it just does not turn out good. Now, I know I can be an ass. I really know I can be an ass because I do it to my own family. I really don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like negativity. I don't like people going back and forth because of something I said or done, because it's not that person who's trying to make a positive comment or make things look better. It's the people who want to argue instead of just leaving it alone. I've got too many problems, too many issues, too much to deal with that kind of stuff. I'm not going to deal with it no more. In fact, there was somebody this morning off of yesterday's video that made a comment that I just totally and utterly disagreed with because it had no positivity. It was all negative, and I just went, bye, block that person. Person can read all the comments they want and whatnot, watch all the videos they want, but they're no longer going to be able to comment. I'm not going to delete the people. I'm just going to remove their comments, block the person. I don't care. Because at this point in time, I have to literally sit there and look at things and analyze things and just go, I don't care. Because if it's a situation that I can't keep under control that's in my vlogs, in my comment section, I'm just going to stop caring about that. I'm not going to stop doing videos. No, this is too important to me. Not only is it, it helps with my finances, but it also helps get things off my chest. Now, I'm trying to do it in a manner that's not going to be belligerent, not going to be putting down my wife, not going to be attacking her, as somebody once said. Because somebody once said in one of my comments is, why are you attacking your wife? I don't attack my wife. I attack the situation. Granted, a lot of the situation nowadays are surrounding her. This cancer, all the effects that cancer is having to her. Um, just times where she just doesn't understand that I need a break or I need to be left alone. Yeah, I'll say things about that. But it's not about her directly. It's either about the cancer or it's about the fact that I am having a problem dealing. So please understand that I don't attack my wife. When I talk about my wife, it's not really about her. It's about the situation surrounding her. Yeah, I get mad at my wife. She gets mad at me. We both say stuff about each other. Now, that's how we cope. Now, if people are assuming or thinking that we're attacking each other, no, we're not attacking each other directly. It's about the situations. It's not about our personality. It's not about our who we are. It's about the situation surrounding us. Because I don't know any one individual person who does not have a problem or a situation that they are not happy with that does not attack the situation and maybe bring up people. That's just in our nature. But I can say this much. Sorry. My wife defends me. I defend her. We do it in our own way. Granted, sometimes she's not happy about the way I do it because of the fact that it's not a direct defensive tactic. Seems like I'm not defending her, but when I do defend her verbally or via text or whatever, she knows. She knows. And there are times I just ignore the situation and she goes, "Why didn't you say anything?" I said, "Because there's nothing I could say because I didn't know what to say. And second off, it's a situation I just don't fully understand, so I just kind of leave it be." I I've gone through so many different things throughout my life that a lot of things just bounce right off me. Because why would I let it affect me when I know it's not me? Just like I've told Jerry, why do you let it affect you if it's not you? If you know what is being said or done is not you, and just because they're attacking what little people know, why do you let it get to you? Now, this whole situation lately with Jay having to literally put medical information and whatnot on her channel to defend herself because so many other people are questioning it. All she did was fed into what they wanted. I don't care what people want, especially when they're like questioning my validity or my honesty or my character. You know, it's like, you don't know who I am. Why do I have to defend myself to you? Why do I have to explain myself to you? You're not my family member. You're not my spouse. You're not my mom. There's no reason for it. It's just feeding into the people who want to hate. Now, granted, I noticed that particular one video where she did put all the imagery of her knee and scans and all that stuff. I noticed after that video, a lot of people just zipped their lips and went away, or just shut up. Now I noticed on the one comment that I deleted on my channel was, the person was basically talking, "Oh yeah, Jerry's trying to get the Social Security and all the things that she should have as a disabled cancer patient to pay for the RV." And I'm like, you have no freaking clue how we're going to pay for the RV. We might put it on monthly payments. might cost as much as a car, monthly payment wise. But no, she's trying to get these benefits because these benefits will help her with medical procedures, home health aid person, all the things that she should be getting are ready. But because of the state of Missouri and their insurance policies and locations and blah, 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 we can't get that here in Rolla. Only way she's going to be able to get it, according to one person she dealt with in her insurance, is if we lived closer to St. Louis. Problem is, if we lived closer to St. Louis, I couldn't afford jack, even on my current salary and incomes. Because the closer you live to St. Louis, or closer you live to Springfield, closer you live to a big city, the more expensive shit is. It's one of the reasons why we chose to live in Rolla, because it's on I-44. It's small town with a big, well, it's a small city according to the latest polls, but it still feels like a large town. As I keep on saying, Rolla is trying to grow too big for its own britches. You know, but still, there's a lot of places here in the U.S. that don't cost as much as St. Louis, but still has all the benefits and whatever you want to call it as a big city like St. Louis. We've got several friends that keep on saying, yeah, if you lived closer to us, not only could we help take care of Jerry, but you'd have this benefit, you'd probably get this, that you need for your house and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want to live in Texas. No. Washington State, maybe. Minnesota, maybe. I think the one big attraction to Minnesota for me is the factor of, I looked it up. I decided to do some research on the state of Minnesota and all their, because their football team, the state football team is the Minnesota Vikings. There's all kinds of different like Viking merch and Viking places and shops and events and whatnot. And I'm like, okay. But with all my health issues and all my problems, I don't know if I can deal with the extreme cold and the snow. And I mean, I love to look at it and watch it, but I'd have to purchase a snow blower or something like that, and probably a pickup truck with snow tires or chains. I don't know. I mean, I looked at prices and whatnot, and I'm like, man, they are kind of a little on the high side for my taste, but the potential for jobs that I can handle or do or that kind of stuff, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay. But in the long run, I am where I am. I'm not trying to escape my problems, because wherever I go, my problems are going to come with me. In fact, until we can get the state medical insurance for the state that we decide to settle down in, which I don't want to. I do want to live the nomadic life in an RV, but with Jerry's health and whatnot, we need a home base for her to go to have her treatments and all that medical stuff done. I mean, maybe if I lived further northern Missouri. Granted, they do get the snow and whatnot. That, well, not as bad as Minnesota, but they still get the snow and whatnot. And it's one of those things. It's like we can go anywhere in the state of Missouri with our current insurance, and we'll be covered. But the thing is how accessible are the Mercy Medical Centers? How accessible is the different things that Jerry needs for her health issues? Mom, I think mom's only concern is because when it snows, she won't drive. But I think her concern would be the cold, the temperature, basically, and her doctors. So for all intents and purposes, the reason for the RV is so during in between Jerry's procedures or during the warmer months we can go visit people. Plan out our okay. We got 2 weeks until the next infusion, unless they're done with. I think she's done with those now. That's right. The doctor said that she's done with the infusions. They want to redo the scans and whatnot to see how the tumors and the growth and how everything is going with her bones and all the other scans and whatnot, which is a full day of go over here for x-rays, go over here for that scan, go up there for the doctor, go over here for this. And luckily it's all in the same building, otherwise I'd be going, I am going to not want to drive anymore. Which, I like driving now. I love to take trips now. I love driving. Even if it's to and from work, it's like, oh yay, I get to, because it's a feeling of independence. Because you're in control of the vehicle. The only thing you have to worry about are the other people that you cannot control. So, I don't know. I enjoy traveling now. I wanted to, when it gets warmer, I want to take a trip down to see if I can drive to Springfield. And if mom's if mom's in relatively good shape and whatnot, we can go get some bourbon chicken. I can go to my New Age shop. Stop by Cinnabon and get our Cinnabons. Probably have dinner, lunch, whatever there, and then come home. Make a day of it. Maybe. Because it depends on Jerry and Mom. Because if Jerry can handle the ride without any issues, great. If Mom can handle the ride without any issues, great. Because I don't know if I can do that by myself. Of course, it'd be faster if it was by myself, because I'd be like, zip, 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 I'm home. But the reason why I want either Jerry or Mom to come, especially Jerry, is she's becoming a very good co-pilot. I know she gets her down and out feeling because she can't do the drive herself. And then we get home and she goes, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it or help you out. And I'm like, you helped me out great. You were my navigator. You reminded me where to turn and where to go and blah, blah, blah. Ooh, almost an hour. And these are dirty. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. You know what to do. Thumbs up, comments, subscribe, not subscribe. Your choices. But I hope you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy. Bye.